Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today we're looking at another episode of What to Do, and I'm really excited about this one because it's actually one of the most recent reworked maps. It's Fjords. What do I think of the rework? Really quickly, I think it's good. Um, if we ever get like a giant audience, I'll upload like an hour-long rant of why this old version of the map is like an absolute strategic nightmare. But today we're going to be looking at a little bit about the new map. And again, the purpose of these What to Do episodes is that we just look at super basic positions that you can just use in a variety of vehicles. And we're also going to give like a little bit of an explanation of why we're here, what we're doing. Now, the score of this game, again, isn't like amazing, but it's about, how we play the game. And I think that we played this really, really well. We're playing in the Leopard PTA, and we're already going to pause the replay a little bit, you know how it goes. And we're going to talk about this first position. Now, the initial position here is one of my favorite starting locations if we're on this spawn right here. So it's all about this house. This house is incredibly strong. Now, my starting positions on this map have evolved over the years. I used to start in this like bush line over here, where this concept is and where this gorilla is. I don't do that anymore. I initially went there to get some early spotting on the other side, and you can still get some spots off, but there are better ways to do that now, which we will get into in a moment. And also, what is really dangerous is that CVS is now a thing, and like ultra view range, like 600-meter view range exists now. So, sitting here, and if you get spotted as well, you have to, 3 seconds until your sixth sense goes off, and then if you drive back, you're still exposed for quite a long duration. So, this bush line is a little bit of a bait, and that's why I don't go there anymore. Instead, what I do is that I forego the spotting option, and I just sit behind this house here. Now, this house is really nice because, again, you have soft cover in these bushes here, and also these trees provide cover for the people that are over here, and not as much over here, but also from this hill. And you have hard cover. So if you peek out here or peek out here, you can shoot this new location that is here. We're going to also be looking at this spot a little bit. You'll see that this leopard platoon, spoiler alert, they're sitting over here. If you spawn on the other side, I would highly recommend going here a couple of times. It is amazing because it has all the benefits of a forward bush position, but if you get spotted, you can fall back very easily and be quite safe as well. And you can shoot a heavy flank, but that's for another episode. So yeah, this house. We're gonna get a little bit of a couple of shots up north, and also on the leopards. And if people are over peeking where this Leo PTA is, then you can get shots there as well. But usually they play it quite safe. So yeah, this is one of my favorite starting positions, and I go here like 9 times out of 10. I really don't like the heavy tank flank on Fjords because it's just a hold down mess. It's just this tiny little choke point, and it's just cupola sniping hold down, and it's just not very fun, in my opinion. So I go here in medium tanks, tank destroyers. Even if you're like a heavy tank, like a 50B or something, or an imbattable, you can also go here. Now, A-line has been reworked massively. It gives the team, from my side of the map, an opportunity to actually push up to where the KEK is and the Gorilla 15. It's still an uphill battle, but it is better than what it used to be. I'll give you a little bit of a pro tip here after we shoot these Leos. There we go. You see, if you get spotted there, you will still take damage if people are like pre-aimed at you, but if you shoot and then go back right away, it is very, very playable. But yeah, 2 locations on this new map that I think are worth mentioning is this bush here, where the Manticore is sitting. This is the spotter bush here. I have only been here like once or twice myself while I was doing the light tank missions for the Blackrock, and it is really good. What I think is going to happen is that people are going to learn about this spot next to this rock, and they are going to start blind firing it in the future. I know that if I play a Gorilla or a Shit Barn, I am 100% just going to fire a round into that bush next to the rock, because it's so good. The second position is this like ditch here. There's a road that goes over here, and there's a little bit of a wall of rocks here that shields you from these people and from these people. But the danger lies that if you peek around here, you are completely exposed just instantaneously, and there is no safe form of cover when you're driving down this little road here. At least what I found. This is still kind of like theory crafting, because the map is still kind of fresh. What I do like to do, however, both from north and south, is that I like to go into this ditch. If you're in like a fast medium with like 7-8 degrees gun pressure minimum, you can rush in here from both sides, and you can actually pressure this position here underneath their gun line, and it works quite well actually. I still think you can get shots from here, which is kind of annoying, but you know, more testing is needed. You can do the same from the northern position. You can go in here, and then you can play hole down here. And it's a little bit easier, because usually you're going to have people here and here like covering your approach. And then you can really put like pressure on this position and maybe outspot this bush as well. So, again, played on this map like, 6-7 times. That was not because of the meme, I'm sorry, but I have not played on this map a lot. So yeah, again, I wanted to feature this replay because, I'm playing with my friends in a platoon, which is always fun. But also because, again, we're kind of going to carry this game just by playing the game, or playing this map in a very, very simple fashion. Now, one thing I wasn't paying attention to yet is that my heavy tank flank, see here in the south, is falling. This is something that you have to pay attention to. Because again, we are kind of winning this flank. We have a giant numbers advantage. All our teammates are still quite healthy. So you could push. But I noticed something right this second, and maybe a little bit too late. And I tell my teammates, we have to rotate. We have to set up a base defense. Why do we have to set up a base defense? Because this is where you farm. If your heavy tank flank falls, and you're from this spawn, I'm gonna miss like a couple of really easy shots here, so sorry about that. You can farm here. Look at these shots that we're having. This guy, again, should be dead, but 3 leopard PTAs just blasting away at these people. Again, that was just... I was playing the leopard PTA with 2 crew skills and standard equipment, like my equipment loadout is just trash here. Because my friend said that the PTA gun was like kind of bad, and I was like, no, PTA gun is great, and here I am missing fully aim shots. But the optics are actually gonna come into play, like they're gonna provide me so much value. So here, pause for a second. We are currently just hiding behind this rock. There are some trees over here which could be used as bush cover. We're also being approached by a Type 68 and a Tiger Mouse that can play this corner kind of like hold down, and they're just going to be able to shoot us from one position over here. And if we're all in the same spot, it's gonna be quite nice to, or easy for them to play against us. So what do? We use one of the best defensive locations ever on Fjords, at least. You see that I get spotted here, and I'm actually almost going to drown myself. And we outspotted the Leo PTA, 1100 assist, very nice. But I was even willing to take a shot from the Tiger Mouse, a shot from the Type, and a shot from the Leo, just to get here. Because what does this offer us? I, again, have soft cover here, and hard cover. My friend picks up the Tiger Mouse, and before we leave, because we kind of blast the enemy assault here, even if you don't have people supporting you here, there's usually some people that are sitting in the back here. You see that I already have a Grilla and a Trash Barn sitting here, so nice from there. So even if I would not have platoon mates, this position is still absolutely invaluable, because what you can also do here is sit here in a light tank, for example, or, you know, just in a medium tank, and just spot your opponents driving into the cap, and letting your tank destroyers or medium tanks or whatever else is sitting here just shoot the mother coming around this corner. Also, a pro tip is that there are some nice trees here. So if you have the time, if you have like 60 seconds, maybe you're here a little bit too early, knocking off over some of these trees in this direction down here to give you a little bit of extra bush cover from this side. You see that we have very nice bushes here facing this way, but not a lot over here. So if you can knock over some of these trees, really, really good decision. So the rock in D1, key defensive position. We were talking about these defensive positions in the steps video, which, by the way, I just need to mention, got over 400 views, and I'm so happy. So many people commented as well. Well, 14, which is a lot for me. But yeah, thank you. The response to that was just really, really nice. So, what are we doing? We're down on kills, and we're being pressured a lot from every single direction. We need to be aggressive. We have, again, a lot of hit points. And look at how similar this is to the steps video. I know I'm kind of like referencing that video a lot, but do you see the similarities here? The enemies win a flank, they think the game is over, and they just push in without thinking about what could be waiting for them, right? And I mentioned this in my live gameplay video. One of the things that I look for when I spawn into a game is platoons. Platoons can be so incredibly influential, and that is the thing that popped on my radar here, was this Leopard 1 platoon. It was like one of my biggest concerns, right? But they didn't prove to be too much of a hindrance. But if you spawn in on the enemy team and you see a triple platoon of Leopard PTAs, even if you don't use XVM, you still have to pay attention to this, because it just has such a massive impact, right? But yeah, I tell my friends, we have to go back, because right now they think that we're going south. So they're going to assault us from the north. See here that I knock over this tree, which was not accidental actually, it was just to give me a little bit of extra bush cover. And my friend to my right here is actually going to give me a little bit of a good example on on what not to do, actually. So, we're just waiting here. My friend, I was kind of scared that he was going to get shot by the Grilla 15, because he still has a lot of HP. And he hasn't been spotted in a while. And I was kind of thinking that my friend was going to get shot here. But, look here. He picks up the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen. Biggest pickup ever. You always want to take out the vision and mobility of the enemy team on these bushy kinds of maps, right? Because if the enemy team has a BZ88, or 68, excuse me, on their team, I can outplay him with view range, mobility, and positioning really easily if it comes down to like a 1v1 scenario, right? But if I have to outplay a Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, it's going to be immensely difficult, because he is faster, he has better camo, and his gun is still quite good as well. But yeah, you see me pinging this location here on the right. And this is quite important because the STRV has been spotted, the Keck was all the way on A line, and the Gorilla was here as well. So when you position yourself, you go out of... you use likelihood to your advantage, right? Like, what is most likely to happen? And what is most likely to happen is that these people are going to attack us from the north here, right? But we also still need to pay attention to the BZ and the Leo who were spotted in the middle. Now, they could join their team here, or they could be thinking to themselves, oh, people are getting attacked up north, so let's go around the bottom to see if we can make pressure. Now, I went back to the camper location, the bush location, but do you see how my friend is exposed here? He is lining up a shot for people that are pushing around the corner, but he is not prepared for this. And if he gets pushed from here, he cannot really fall down. He has to drive all the way here around this rock. So this is usually just a one-person kind of position, but you know, if you have teammates, then you need to make some extra room. And here we go. Leopard pushed around. And the BZ pushed around just after I ping. And my friend is kind of caught out of position here. He does manage, however, to get underneath the gun line, but again, was pretty of a tricky situation. My 6th sense goes off, I count to 10, I peek out again. And here I say again, they pushed in very aggressively. They took kind of like unnecessary damage from me, like the BZ is now one shot. And again, I'm not alone, I have my friends with me. Look how much hit points we have. We have to use it aggressively in this scenario. The BZ is still here. It doesn't matter if any of us take a shot, right? Because getting him out of the game is absolutely huge. Now, what I would have done as the enemy team here, I would have played on our team's greed, right? If I was this Keck, if I was this Gorilla, if I was this Leo, I would just fall back here. I would sit in this position up here. I would, you know, the Gorilla has these camp positions in the back, and just wait, right? Be patient. We have 7.5 minutes left. We have plenty of time to kind of like force a draw. But look at this. We go south, and they push north. Once we win a position, we don't have to push it. Because the team, the enemy team, is always... They're like super scared of us, right? Oh, sorry. They're really scared of us. So they're going to want to avoid us. And what is the best way to avoid us? If we all push around here into this dip and then like up behind this, pressure the TDs, get control of the base. Maybe they can use this position or this position here against us, which would be absolutely terrible, right? So, rotating around, defending the base is the right choice once again. Now, I know that I sound like a very like campy kind of player, but it's not about like, oh, you always have to camp in the bush, right? No, it's about kind of like strategical defensiveness, right? Like, I want to be aggressive when I can, but not to a unnecessary amount, right? So, right now, we're just all gonna stick together, which is the best thing to do. If the Gorilla shoots any one of us, we just bomb rush him. And there's not a lot we can do. You see, I have an HE shell loaded. I have 2 perks on this crew, and one of those perks is Intuition. That's how addicted I am. So yeah, we have the Laurel of a Century, I think. Lower than a standard round, so that was kind of sad. My friend takes a shot. Again, it doesn't matter, this Gorilla is pretty much just absolutely cooked. And before we kill him, I kind of want to mention this position here as well. Because what you see a lot is this dip. This dip is a highly contested area. Now, I want to talk about it just for a moment, because I don't like going here from this side. I sometimes go here from this side if I have good matchmaking, and I can be very, very aggressive. Now, the reason this spot, at least on old Fjords, was very problematic is that if you get pressured from here, which you very, very often do, you see like heavies or mediums play here, and they'll go up to this corner, and they'll try and shoot you in the side, right? And what you'll want to do is back up to over here where they can shoot you, behind this rock where they can shoot you. But this is why this position is kind of a trap, because look behind you. All these sniper positions here. I'm not 100% sure if you still have shots from here to there, but I think you do. And especially if people are like over-peeking or they're playing like a little bit aggressive on this corner, they can shoot you very, very easily. So this position can work. It can work, but I do not feel the need to risk it. As I said in the steps video, you have to play to the strengths of your vehicle. And the strengths of these vehicles is that they have mobility and firepower. And again, if I place myself in a position where I cannot use my mobility, I'm actively handicapping the power of my vehicle, right? Because if I get pressured from here, and I'm behind a house, I can very easily fall back to D1 or to B1, for example, and then hold back the enemy, right? I hope it makes sense in a way. And if you play from the other spawn, you can just go here, right? Because if enemies pressure you, they are very likely to just get absolutely blasted, especially if you have one person behind this rock. If they drive in here, they are just going to be stuck because this person has hull down shots at the top of their tanks. So, yeah. Again, there isn't a lot to say about the heavy flank, other than if the enemy team pushes through, you have a very easy time from this corner here to shoot at people pressuring your cap. So, you know, there's that. Alright, I have HE, I highball, and in good what to do episode fashion, we ram our final opponent to death. Which is kind of funny, again, but also a little bit DBM. So yeah, we all did about like 4k-ish damage, which was kind of nice. So in that sense, the replay was really cool. And also, again, with the what to do episodes, I just like to keep it simple, right? That is what I learned when I was like working in sales, is that sometimes you have to keep it simple stupid. And that is what I want to do with the what to do episodes. Like, you can go here in pretty much any tank that is not a slow heavy tank. And it's such a flexible position because it's so safe, right? And if you want to, you know, go down and then pressure, you know, a little bit later, you just want to wait for the people to greed peak, right? Because you always have the people in the start of the game that are very greedy and just want to overpeak. And then later, just go play this dip or go here, shoot these people in the side. This position, I really like the rework here north of Fjords. It offers a lot more flexibility and the possibility to be a little bit more proactive even from this spawn, which was really missing. But yeah, I hope this video was fun to watch. As I said in the previous video, actually, if you would like to see live gameplay of any tier 10 vehicle, then feel free to post in the comments, and the next episode will be about that tank. So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed. I was filming this at midnight because Wargaming is again rolling out a patch tomorrow that invalidates this replay. So thank you, Wargaming, for keeping me up. But, yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you in the next one. Peace.